I'm Rebecca Gordon.
I'm Sylvia Gordon. We're going to be talking about Walmart's new very low-cost insulin, as well as other discounts besides GoodRx, and
A whole bunch of other things, so stay tuned. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to say yay to United Healthcare and their Lean platform. They just made it better when you are writing AARP med subs. So they've always had this platform, but it was really convoluted. You had to enroll the app, and the client had to create something, send it, come back. I hate steps like that because it's not client friendly. Now, it is really like a true online application.
it's more like an e-app. So if you are trying to enroll someone in AARP MedSup, United Healthcare, you could ask them for security questions like, what's your mother's maiden name? And then you can do the electronic signature on your side.
You, the agent.
You, the agent,
Yep.
can do it now. So that's new. We're hearing a lot of hurrah
That's
from
awesome.
the field.
But remember, the client does have to have an email address.
Right. So we had some agents argue with us that the client, trust me, they still need an email. Don't think you're going to get around that
Right.
regulation.
Right.
Yeah, they need their email.
They have to have it. So yay. Also, yay, or what's coming down the pike is Centene and WellCare. So CMS had a rule for plan year 2022 that the max number of PDP plans a carrier can have is 3. So who does that impact? WellCare. So WellCare PDP plans are going from 6 to 3.
The Centene bought WellCare. For anybody new that hasn't kept up with all this.
And if this does impact one of your customers on one of the plans that will be getting morphed into 3, they're going to get their ANOC letter, which will explain which plan they're going to. They will simply get mapped over.
So in September, they need to look at that, because if they were paying $10 and now they're paying $20, you want to be ahead of that so that you can either resell them on why they need to stay where they are, or you can move them somewhere else and they're not just mad at you.
And just remember that the original agent of record stays the same. And all that.
So this mapping won't cut you out of it, but those letters start to go out in September, and we never know the exact dates. We always typically wait till the clients call in with questions, and then we know where the ANOC letters went out. Okay, let's talk about Glick. So we talked a little bit last week about GoodRx, and most agents by now, GoodRx has been around long enough that they're familiar with GoodRx. You can get the little app on your phone and put your drug in and see if you can save money. However, we have found one that is better. There's only 3 major players in this market: Good, Single Care, and Glick. Okay, so Glick is the one that we were really interested in because they don't have secret fees. So if you go to GoodRx and you look up your drug and says lisinopril, and it's going to be whatever, it'll be an asterisk at the bottom that said price may vary. That's because when you go to the pharmacy can tack on a dispensing fee, and it could be as little as 50 cents, and it could be as much as $5. So it's not that much, but for them, they make a lot of money off of it. And Glick does not do that. What it's advertised for is what it's going to be. There's no dispensing fees.
I like that.
Anyway, from what we've looked at, the top 100 dispensed drugs, they beat GoodRx 80% of the time.
And we're going to talk more about Glick during our AEP kickoffs, right?
Right. So if you're attending one of our kickoffs, we'll go into that a little bit more. But with the price of drugs insane,
and continuing,
we got to be very creative.
So, which brings me to dental.
No, brings you to Walmart.
Oh, I really wanted to go to dental. But I'll go, oh, right, drugs, Walmart. So I love the competition. So Novolog, which is a very popular insulin drug for diabetics, Walmart has now announced that they will offer this with a 75% discount. Or discount? Not really a discount.
No, it's off the retail. It's about 75% cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper. Discounts.
So a lot of people take Novolog. It's one of the most popular diabetic drugs, but of course there's lots of insulin. But if somebody's on a similar drug, it might be cause for them to go to their doctor and say, hey, I'm on Humalog, but could I take Novolog, because they're very similar, if not identical, I think.
So keep an eye out for that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that really shook up things this week. And I don't know more to come on where that's coming, other than we know Walmart is making a foray into healthcare.
Go Walmart, go. Good
So
God.
there you go.
There you go.
How about dental? A lot of competition there.
Oh, a lot of competition. It's so funny when you think back to dental just 5 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, we really had one big carrier. The max benefit was $1,000, and everybody thought that was awesome. But now we have Cigna, who is blazing the trail with their new dental program and product, and they are up to $5,000 benefit. So that's huge.
So Cigna's dental plan, you know, because there's so much competition, they're saying, what does people like and not like about Emeritus, Delta Dental,
Medical.
Aetna's, Medicos. There's so many people in dental right now. I still am very fond of Medicos. One, because they got us here. They got me into dental when I went kicking and screaming. But because they have a dental, vision, and hearing. Okay, even though it's primarily dental. This one's interesting because the maximum benefit is that $5,000, and a maximum benefit of $1,000 or $2,000 just doesn't get you very far.
You know, I had a root canal.
You did.
Yes, with an almond. You knew this. It was like 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
It was an almond. Be very careful of eating.
I was just eating almonds.
Very,
I have a bag full of
very
almonds
careful.
on my desk.
Cracked my back tooth. It's $2,500.
For one? Ooh.
For one.
Yeah, so this $5,000 is very important. Also, they have a disappearing deductible. So by year 4, there is no deductible. And they're running a... So why don't you talk about some of the states? Can we make it bigger here?
So the states that this is available in, the big ones are... Okay, it's going to give me a migraine.
Here we go.
All
Florida.
Right. Florida, Georgia, Michigan.
Not Indiana yet.
Pennsylvania. Texas.
Texas, yeah.
West Virginia, because I love West Virginia, one of the coolest states ever. And you love West Virginia. Playground out there. Love West Virginia.
That was ripe for a teeth joke, and I'm glad she resisted that. Go ahead.
Oh, I would never say anything about West Virginia. I love West Virginia. Is right now they also have a incentive. $50 for any standalone plan you sell, but if you sell it with a Cigna Med Sup, it's a $75 bonus.
Till the end of the year. So
Nice.
yeah, they're lining up for AEP to have a big AEP on that. And if you go into our quote engine and you click dental, it's going to give you all the options in that zip code. Might not be contracted with all those. So just be careful. Same thing when you go to a hospital indemnity, people pull it up and like, lots of choices. Just because we're letting you quote it doesn't mean necessarily that you're able to sell it.
So you can always reach out to your marketer for that. Are we good? I think we crushed this episode personally.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's really working hard on their certifications. And the number one question we get right now is, how do I make sure all my downline agents are getting their certifications done online? And you have that in your portal. You have access to that.
You have to look.
You can see it. But every year, I mean, we've been doing this since 2002. People say, I got a system, I got a plan, and it doesn't work. People fall through and they don't get paid, and you won't get paid, and there could be also compliance issues. So the sooner people get certified in the season, the better for you, because now you have a lot of cleanup time to go back and have your staff check to make sure everybody is done, because they're not. They're not.
There's no forgiveness with certifications.
They never are. So we'll let you get out of this video so you can go get certified.
Good selling.